What is up, guys? My name is Chase and welcome to the gaming room. Yes, Coco. This is why I usually don't film with the dogs. So today I decided to turn on the dusty old Wii U. I've shown you guys my entire physical Wii U collection, and now with the 3DS and Wii U eShops officially dead in the ground, I wanted to share with you guys everything that I managed to download on my Wii U. By the way, Yuki is here. She's right over here. Yuki! Hi! So I guess first off, here's a look at my Wii U home menu. I mainly was concerned about downloading virtual console games onto my Wii U, which is why I've made folders on my Wii U menu for all of the different systems that I have downloaded. Also, in case anybody's wondering, I have a Samsung T5 external SSD plugged into my Wii U. It actually works perfectly fine. It doesn't even require a separate power adapter, which is really nice. But anyway, I have my Wii Classic controller here, and let's look through what I have downloaded onto my Wii U. So first off, we can check out some of the Wii U exclusive eShop games that I downloaded. First off, we have Affordable Space Adventures, which from what I hear is like one of the best Wii U games overall. Apparently this game makes really great use of the Wii U gamepad. It actually makes it feel worth it to carry around this giant hunk of plastic. I haven't actually played it yet, but I'm excited to give it a try. Next, we have Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits. I don't think I played this much, but if I'm not mistaken, this is a game where you tap in different amiibo, and depending on which amiibo you tap in, you get a different like classic Nintendo game to play. I think it's only like a timed trial, but I'm pretty sure this game was released when Nintendo was still trying to figure out what to do with amiibo. They wanted to make it feel like these amiibo figures were actually worth it and had some kind of like in-game features. So that's a little interesting app to have on my Wii U. Next up, we have Chasing Aurora, which I believe was a pretty early Wii U game. I think it was around 2013 when it was released, maybe even 2012, I forget. But essentially this feels like an indie version of Nintendo Land, I guess. It makes use of like the asymmetric gameplay, as Nintendo called it, with the Wii U gamepad versus the players on the TV screen. Basically, you all play as birds. The bird on the gamepad screen gets to see like a different view compared to what the people on the TV see. It's basically like Mario Chase, except with birds. I don't know, it was interesting. I remember me and my friends had a pretty fun time playing this game. But anyway, next we have Dr. Luigi. This was released for the year of Luigi back in 2013. I mean, it basically just took Dr. Mario and replaced it with Luigi, which is like, okay, like sure. I'm sure Luigi would be happy to pretend to be his bigger brother. There's a game mode where it like replaces all of the pills with L-shaped pills for Luigi. And that's pretty much it with Dr. Luigi. Next up, we have DuckTales Remastered. I've never actually played the original DuckTales. I don't think I got very far in DuckTales Remastered, but I hear this is like a very beloved classic, I think SNES game. Now it's on the Wii U. I believe they eventually brought it to other systems as well, but I remember it was like a pretty big deal when this got released for the Wii U specifically. And then we have Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater. From what I hear, I think the Fatal Frame series is like a really niche, sort of underground fan base. It's a horror game that I believe makes use of the Wii U gamepad. If I'm not mistaken, it's almost like a Pokemon Snap style. Like you hold up the gamepad to take pictures and like you walk around trying to take pictures with the gamepad, but there's a bunch of horror elements. Not gonna lie, don't know if I'll ever play this game because I am absolutely terrified of anything spoopy, but I wanted to make sure I get this game on the Wii U before the eShop closed. Next up, we have Little Inferno. This was an absolutely lovely game to have on the Wii U. It came out in 2012. I believe it may have even been a launch title, but it's a very simple premise. You just burn things and you get money from burning things in a fireplace. I feel like the Wii U version does actually have an advantage, which is that you can use the gamepad screen to burn the actual objects. Like you can use the stylus on the screen, which works really well for Little Inferno. I tried playing Little Inferno on the PC recently and it just did not feel right compared to playing it on the Wii U, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I don't think they ever released the DLC for the Wii U, which is like really sad. That would have been such a funny thing to see. But yeah, Little Inferno I think was like one of the hidden gems on the Wii U. Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition. I don't actually know much about this game. I know like the main character. I believe this actually started out as a 3DS game, but then they brought it over to the Wii U. It's like a 2D side-scroller, I think somewhat similar to like Mega Man. But anyway, we have Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. Once again, this was during the time when Nintendo was still trying to figure out what to do with Amiibo. So with Mini Mario and Friends, you tap different Amiibos on the gamepad and you unlock different characters characters. It uses like the Mario versus Donkey Kong type of gameplay where you have to guide these characters through the levels. And each character you unlock has their own unique abilities. I think it's honestly fun when Nintendo actually acknowledges some of the lesser known characters that they have. I believe this game allowed you to use the Star Fox amiibo, for example. But yeah, this was still during a weird time when Nintendo was like really pushing for people to use amiibo. Next up, we have NES Remix and NES Remix 2. The NES Remix series was really interesting because it was just like this random quirky game that Nintendo revealed during a Nintendo Direct, where it's like, hey, we're bringing back NES games, but they all have their own little like challenges and spins to them. And the idea is that you go through a bunch of these like old NES games and do the different challenges. Sometimes they like completely twist up the gameplay. Like there were a lot of crossovers between different NES games. It surprised me that they actually went on to make 2 of them, and that was it. They never made an SNES remix or anything else, which I think would have been really cool too. Honestly, somewhat felt like a filler game, but hey, at least we were still using our Wii U's, right? And then we have Pikmin 3. I did actually download Pikmin 3 digitally because I believe it was with Mario Kart 8. If you got the game early and like registered it with Club Nintendo or something, you were able to get 1 free Wii U game, which was like really crazy. You could really tell that Nintendo was trying everything to get the Wii U actually selling. I believe the options included like Game & Wario, Pikmin 3, and Wii Party U or something. Since I already had all those games, I went with Pikmin 3, which was the one game I did not have. And yeah, I mean, Pikmin 3 in general, I think it was really interesting that they released Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. You know, this console that was basically just bleeding out as it lived. And they're like, you know what will help the Wii U sell? Is if we make one of the lesser known franchises for the Wii U, Pikmin. Everybody will love it, and by everybody we mean only the people who really understand what Pikmin is. Next up, we have Trine Enchanted Edition. I bought this game, I believe it was 2013, which was a very like slow year for the Wii U. And it was so bad that I was just willing to download anything off of the Wii U eShop and try it out. So I tried out Trine on the Wii U. I actually had a pretty good time with it. Like a surprisingly fun time playing Trine for the first time. It's just a really, I guess, cute and almost cozy feeling puzzle platformer type of game. It has a lot of like fantasy and like fairy vibes to it, which is good for people who like that kind of stuff. And finally, we have Wii Sports Club, which basically was just like Wii Sports HD remastered. I feel like a lot of the reasons they made Wii Sports Club is because they showed a lot of Wii Sports in the original Wii U reveal trailer. And so now with Wii Sports Club, they could actually make those features that they showed in the trailer a reality. In Wii Sports Club, you use the gamepad to like see where your golf ball is on the ground. You can use it to pitch and catch in baseball. Although in my opinion, they completely ruined this game by making this really just weird release schedule. I believe 2 of the sports came out in like the beginning half of the year, and then the remaining 2 sports came out at the end of the year. At least for me, it made it so that I completely forgot about this game by the time the final 2 sports came out. I guess it's kind of like what they did with Nintendo Switch Sports, where golf got delayed so long that I feel like a lot of people probably forgot about the game. So yeah, Wii Sports Club just had a weird release schedule. But anyway, those are all of the Wii U eShop games I have downloaded onto my Wii U. Next up, let's take a look at some of the virtual console games I have on my Wii U. Starting with the NES, I only have one game in here, which is Super Mario Bros. 3. I believe I might have got this because of some kind of promotion. Maybe they were giving it away for free or something. I honestly don't see any reason to get NES games on the Wii U, at least, you know, by the time it closed, because we already had NES through Switch Online on the Switch. Plus, the NES emulation on Wii U is like really weird. You can even tell by just this icon on the Wii U menu. NES emulation on the Wii U just always looks so weird. It's really dark and just like gross, yucky looking. Like it almost looks like muddy, low saturation. It just does not look very good. So that's the single NES game I have. SNES games, I downloaded Earthbound because I remember that was a big like surprise announcement when Earthbound was coming to the Wii U. And they made a big deal about Earthbound coming to the Wii U. It almost felt like that was a full game release that Nintendo was releasing for the Wii U. They did this cool thing where you could actually look at the original manual on the Wii U gamepad as you played. And as someone who never played Earthbound before, I did want to download it and give it a try. I would say I probably played maybe maybe like a quarter of this game. I had a fun time overall, like it was pretty enjoyable, but I don't know, I probably got occupied with something else, so unfortunately I still have not finished Earthbound, but I can totally appreciate it and respect it for what it is. Speaking of RPGs, we have Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I actually downloaded this somewhat recently because I had a feeling that they would never be able to bring this game to the SNES Switch Online app, just because of how, you know, Square is involved with this game, so I feel like there would be a lot of licensing troubles with them bringing it over to the Switch. Of course, now they are fully remaking the game for the Switch, but at least we have the original version here on the Wii U, so I guess that's nice to have. And finally, we have Super Mario World. This was actually one of the few games that I actually carried over from the Wii. When the Wii U Virtual Console was first announced, they had this whole program where if you had Virtual Console games from the Wii that were available on the Wii U, you could pay a smaller fee than what the game was actually priced at in order to get the Wii U version, which basically just allowed you to like use the gamepad features, you know, play the game on the gamepad if you wanted. But if you didn't want to pay for that fee, you could always just boot into the Wii menu from the Wii U and just play all of your Virtual Console games that way. So I guess it was nice that we had the option on the Wii U. But those are all of my SNES games. Next up, we have N64. And first off, we have Donkey Kong 64. Similar to Super Mario RPG, I downloaded this because of all of the licensing issues and whatnot. I have a feeling that they either might not ever bring Donkey Kong 64 to the Switch, or it might be quite a while before we see Donkey Kong 64 on the Switch, just because of the whole Rare situation. Not gonna lie, from what I hear, I don't think I'm gonna actually play through this game. I'll definitely give it a shot at some point. But with someone with a very short attention span, usually collectathon games aren't really my thing, which is what Donkey Kong 64 is. But I did just want to have this game downloaded for posterity. And then we also have Super Mario 64, which was the other Wii Virtual Console game that I brought over to the Wii U. I think N64 games in general are very interesting to be playing on the Wii U, just because I don't think off the top of my head that there was a controller option that really felt right to play N64 games. I mean, sure, you could use the Wii U Pro controller, you could use the classic controller, but I don't know, with how funky the N64 controller is, I feel like a lot of N64 games just feel right using the N64 controller. At least with the Switch, they released the Switch Online exclusive N64 controller, but on the Wii U, you're pretty much stuck using like normal controllers. But anyway, those are all of my N64 games on my Wii U. Next up, we have GBA games on the Wii U. And funny story about my GBA games, I actually downloaded a bunch of these games just because at the time we did not know about the Game Boy Advance Switch Online app. So I was frantically trying to download Game Boy Advance games onto my Wii U because we weren't sure if Game Boy Advance games would ever come to the Switch. Today, I just feel like an idiot because I bought and downloaded all of these Game Boy Advance games. But anyway, let's look at the games we have in here. First off, we have Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. As of right now, I don't think this is on the Switch Online app, nor do I think they have plans to bring this to the Switch Online app. Kirby is a series that I definitely want to sort of go back and look at the history of. Nowadays, I do really enjoy Kirby games, especially with like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So yeah, I want to go back and look at the like full history of Kirby at some point. We have The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap, which they do actually have on the Switch Online app, so I bought this game like an idiot. And once again, I bought this game like an idiot, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, because this is also on the Switch Online app. We have Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the very first in the series, and I actually remember having this game on my original Game Boy Advance. I thought it was super interesting at the time. Of course, they went on to like completely just milk this franchise. But yeah, definitely when I was a kid, I thought it was super interesting, you know, how this game worked. Next up, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit. Once again, they do have this on the Switch Online app. I also got Metroid Fusion, which I also thought they weren't going to be bringing to the Switch Online app, and then they did. We have Metroid Zero Mission. Yeah, it's really interesting that nowadays Nintendo seems to be giving a lot more attention to the Metroid series. At the time that I bought these games, I wasn't sure if there would ever be, you know, another Metroid game on the Switch. But yeah, now we have like Metroid Dread on the Switch, there's Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance Online app, and then of course they did Metroid Prime Remastered, so I guess it's very cool that Metroid is actually relevant nowadays. We have Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Bros. 3. I wanted to get this on the Wii U because the Wii U Virtual Console version of this game has all of the e-reader levels in it. In Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Bros. 3, there were exclusive levels which you could only unlock by buying the Game Boy Advance e-reader and swiping the Mario cards so that you could unlock those levels. But now you just both get them in the Wii U version, and also I believe the Switch version has the e-reader levels. So yeah, this is actually a pretty nice thing to have. WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. This one's also on the Switch. I made some really poor decisions apparently in choosing which games to try to preserve on my Wii U, because all of these are on the Switch. But next up we have Mario Party Advance, which I'm interested to see if they will bring this game over to the Switch Online app. I feel like Mario Party Advance is sort of a forgotten Mario Party game because of how limited it was at the time. There's no multiplayer built into Mario Party Advance, it's pretty much a single player experience. So yeah, it's like a really just weird kind of quirky Mario Party game that is very different from like the mainline Mario Party games. And then finally we have Mario Pinball Land. Speaking of quirky and sort of forgotten games, this is a game that I really hope they bring to the Switch Online app, just because I think it would be funny to see Mario Pinball Land on the Switch. This is a game that I have memories of during my childhood, but critically this game just like is not very good. It's just a weird concept and it's like weirdly executed. So this is a game that I would love to see them bring to the Switch, but I don't really have high hopes for. And those are all of my Game Boy Advance games. Next up, we have Nintendo DS games, which if there were virtual console games that I was like really looking forward to getting on the Wii U, it would be the DS games. Because the DS virtual console games made use of the Wii U gamepad in that you could have the top screen on the TV or the bottom screen on the gamepad. So anyway, let's take a look in my DS folder. First off, we have Animal Crossing Wild World. This is an Animal Crossing game that I did play during my childhood, and I'm very embarrassed to admit that I did actually consider to have a girlfriend in Animal Crossing Wild World. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, as well as The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. These are really interesting Zelda games because they use the Wind Waker art style, and you have to control the whole game using the touchscreen. So in my opinion, I don't see these games ever being remade for any console, just because it literally relies on you using the touchscreen to move. Then we have Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I think nowadays the Mario and Luigi series is a series of games that we do need to preserve, just because I don't know if Nintendo ever has plans to bring this series back. So yeah, Partners in Time, I wanted to make sure we have on the Wii U. Next up, we have Mario Hoops 3-on-3. I feel like if you ask any Gen Z kid, they'll tell you that they played this game. This was very much like a childhood, you know, get your friends or all your family together and play Mario Hoops 3-on-3 together. A very interesting game, like a Mario basketball game on the DS that also had third-party characters. Like, what a weird concept for a game. Anyway, we have Mario Kart DS. I have some pretty fond memories from Mario Kart DS. Me and my brothers would all bring our DSs on family vacations and we would like play Mario Kart with our cousins. I remember in Mario Kart DS specifically, they were trying to teach us how to snake. I don't think I ever understood how to do it, but yeah, Mario Kart DS had a lot of like really interesting things. And speaking of Mario multiplayer games, next we have Mario Party DS. Now this was an interesting little portable Mario Party game because it did actually let you play multiplayer with other people. I actually remember when I was a kid, we were on the airplane and me and my brothers would play Mario Party DS, which was like really cool at the time. Like actually being able to connect with other people and play a Mario Party game on the go, that was super duper cool at the time. And then we have New Super Mario Bros. This was really cool just to get a new 2D Mario game. I think this technically would have been like the first 2D Mario game that I actually played all the way through. I personally had a lot of fun with this game, and plus all of the mini games that were included with this game, me and my brothers used to have such a fun time playing together. Next up, we have Super Mario 64 DS. This is another game that I really wanted to preserve just because of how different Super Mario 64 DS is from the regular Super Mario 64. You know, obviously they added 4 characters that you can play as. They added new levels and like they changed up all of the old ones. It's really interesting how different they made this game feel from the original Super Mario 64. Next up, we have WarioWare Touched. This is another game that I fondly remember from my childhood. Just trying to get the highest scores in WarioWare. Really fun time. And we'll just kind of blast through these last ones because I don't think I played much of any of these games. Yoshi's Island DS. From what I hear, there are quite a few things wrong with this game, but I'm not completely opposed to giving it a try. Similar to the Kirby series, Yoshi is another series where I want to go back and actually play some of the original Yoshi's Island games. Big Brain Academy. This was the whole thing when it was like, use these brain training games to make yourself smarter. I feel like this game did the complete opposite for me. It just made me feel like an idiot. And finally, Kirby Mass Attack. Once again, I want to go back and look at the whole history of Kirby Barbie. But those are all of the DS games I have downloaded on my Wii U. Next up, I also downloaded some Wii games on the Wii U. So looking in my Wii folder, first off we have the Metroid Prime trilogy. For a while I was looking for this game physically, but I mean prices are just so crazy, so I was like, it's okay, we don't need the physical one, we'll just get the digital one on the Wii U. Which I mean makes it nice that they actually offer this game digitally so that you don't have to go scouting out for ridiculous prices for a physical copy of this game. We have Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 on the Wii, and the Wii version of Pikmin 1 and 2 is nice because it makes use of the Wii remote and nunchuck controls for Pikmin, which from what I hear from Pikmin fans works the best for Pikmin games. Although now we do have Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch, which is really nice as well. Next we have Punch-Out on the Wii. This was really interesting because I don't even remember this game coming out. It was probably before my time, like before I was really invested in video games. But this is like a full remake of the original Punch-Out game on the NES. And I actually really enjoy Punch-Out on the NES, as well as Super Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo. So I am looking forward to playing Punch-Out on the Wii. Next up we have Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, as well as Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles. Yeah, these were Wii games that I just wanted to have like preserved on my Wii U. I don't know if I'll ever get around to playing these games because once again, I am absolutely terrified of anything spoopy. But I hear that Resident Evil 4 works really well on the Wii, so we'll see if maybe I actually give this game a try. And then finally, we have Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii. This is an absolutely lovely game. I have a full review video of Rhythm Heaven Fever if you want to hear me talk more about this game. But yeah, I bought the digital version because at the time I was really short on money. I saw that Rhythm Heaven Fever was actually kind of spiking in prices on eBay, so I sold my physical copy, got the digital one, which I think actually works out in the end because I do like to hop into Rhythm Heaven Fever every so often, so it's pretty convenient to have it digitally on the Wii U. But those are all of my Wii games. And finally, we can check out the media folder I have on my Wii U. So we have 3 of the Wii U panorama view little applications, I guess, which are basically just panoramic video files where you can take the Wii U gamepad and actually like look around. That was one of the big features when the Wii U was first revealed, was like you can walk around and like use the gamepad as a way to look around at your surroundings. So they would just release these little videos every so often. I think they were like maybe $4 or $5 each. We also have the YouTube app, as well as the Netflix app, which I actually really like the Netflix app on the Wii U because it let you skim through Netflix TV shows and movies on the gamepad. You could even watch the shows exclusively on the gamepad, so a lot of times I would like watch Netflix on my Wii U gamepad while I was lying down in bed or on the couch or something. So I actually made use of the Netflix app on the Wii U a lot. But that is officially everything I have downloaded on my Wii U. I do also have this other folder, which is just like all of the stock Wii U apps. So there you go, that's everything that I managed to download before the eShop closed. Yeah, I think the Wii U, if anything, is just a nice virtual console machine. It allows you to play pretty much any Nintendo console, whether it's handheld games like the DS that require a dual screen experience, or you could even play Wii games on the Wii U, which is like nice to have. But anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you guys have downloaded on your Wii U? If you want to see my entire 3DS digital collection, check out the video below. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chase, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!